How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital. And you've guessed it, we're back here for another episode of Group Chat.
Currently the best international team in the world. Now, when I say team, I'm talking about them as a collective. I think the squad they've got so many different options.
Maybe at the moment they're up there as one of the best teams.
I just want to go back because you mentioned a few young players with England. That's one of the arguments that I have here. That's quite key. Jadon Sancho is another one who knows how good this player can be. You know, he really seems like some talent.
Matter picking France is the best team in the world for me. Not even Belgium. I know Belgium's ranked number one. Let me see, and I know what you're saying about youth and they're being developed and they're still who knows what they're gonna have that's gonna click over.
Be pushing on to that golden generation again with the Brazilian team.
I agree. Fabinho at the moment as well. Fernandinho.
I think
Coutinho's hitting form again.
The form that Coutinho is here at the moment, I think.
But I think we're having a dig for these. I think we're really.
We talk about Brazil. Is Portugal anything to look at? No. I think the likes of Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo's hitting his point now where he's going to retire eventually.
You know what?
As you know, in group chat, the discussions get heated, they get emotional. But on today's topic, and we're talking a bit off camera about a specific topic, and that was, it's quite simple, who the best international team in the world is in your opinion. Now, I want to throw it over to you first, Borche. Best international team in the world.
At this present time.
At this present time.
To be honest, I'm more of a club of a country type of guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So should I throw it over to him first?
I reckon I'll throw it over to the guest.
Oh, well, look. At the end of the day, like, I am club of a country as well.
But this is discussion. If you had to pick a country,
yeah, of course. Look, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think at this present time, I would have to say England are currently the best international team in the world. Now, when I say team, I'm talking about them as a collective. I think the squad they've got so many different options. You know, you've got different types of midfielders, different types of wing backs. You don't want Trent Alexander-Arnold to go up and push up. You can bring in Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Both are brilliant in their position. You know, you want a striker like Harry Kane up front, or do you want to bring in someone who's a wild card like Tammy Abraham, or do you want to think about maybe putting Marcus Rashford in that position? You know, you've got Jamie Vardy, or like there are so many options. Or you can go ahead and bring in Bournemouth. Wilson as well. He's another one who tends to score goals. You could argue that there's not many countries that have a range of strikers like that, you know. So I mean, we can dig into this further, but I think at this present time, I think England do have the best international team in the world.
Even compared to like France and just to say Brazil
and Belgium, even.
I think a lot of those teams have some good individual players. I think as a collective, they're probably not as much of a unit as what England are. In saying that, England don't have one player as good as Kylian Mbappe, in my opinion.
Don't have one player better than De Bruyne.
Yeah, one player better than De Bruyne. But then again, when you start picking the holes in the French team and you start picking the holes in the Belgian team, you find that England don't really have those holes. And I think that's the key.
I don't know, man.
It's a good argument, to be honest.
Look, it is a solid argument. Right now, England's sitting fourth rank-wise based on FIFA, though. I mean, FIFA ranked Uruguay fifth, like we were saying off camera. But
yeah, look, I'm someone that supported England when it comes to international tournaments.
We all have, you know, being Premier League supporters.
But the last few years, I still do support
too many Liverpool players.
Not just that. I think it's just the whole. I don't know. Just conspiracy theory on how it's rigged to me. Some matches, the way the draws are done, and
but that's been since the beginning of time. A lot of people argue that England's 66 World Cup was rigged in itself.
Well, I wasn't around, so I can't comment.
I know. Then the 1998 World Cup final. A lot of people still think the whole France and Brazil thing. I mean, Brazil were.
That's the whole thing with the whole international football. As we get older, you start realizing like, hold on, Like, a lot of it doesn't make sense. The draws they get, how,
Yeah.
the way teams qualify. You're seeing now in the Euros, I think the Euros they're putting in more teams. And like it's probably like dumbing down the competition.
Full marketing.
That's right. It's more for
Yeah.
money than
Bringing
it is for
in
actual.
the Nations League as well.
The Nations League,
you
another
know,
ridiculous
which I
tournament.
didn't
It's-
mind.
it's a
I
good
didn't mind
concept,
it
it's a good
because
concept,
it's
because
better
at
than
least-
just doing the friendlies.
Exactly.
At
At
least it
least
has
there's something
some
to play
value,
for, and
exactly.
half the players are not going to pretend they're injured.
Yeah.
But look, with England, they could maybe at the moment they're up there as one of the best teams,
I don't think the best team.
one of the best teams.
Yeah, I know you're saying that. He's saying the
I know,
best at the
but
moment. At
to
this
be
current
honest,
moment.
in the form they've been in the last, even in the what was the competition? The
Nations
Nations
League.
Nations League, yeah.
If it wasn't for a millimetre of Lingard being offside, England go onto the final.
Yeah.
I think they dominated most of that game against Holland.
They did.
And
Oh, they're a quality
do you know
team.
what I mean? And you
I think this is the first time we've seen England this quality in a long time.
yeah, and I think it's maybe because there's no pressure. We've seen that in the World Cup how they were written off straight away from the start. Like past tournaments where
I think they're
England-
better now than they were in the last World Cup.
Well,
Off camera we
yeah.
spoke about this. Do you think that this England team is the best team? Maybe even in our generation,
In our
the
lifetime.
last, let's say in the last past
In
20
our
years.
lifetime.
20
Do you
years.
reckon?
I think as a team, yes.
As a team.
As
Not individual,
as in,
because
no.
Yeah,
individual, it's a
Let's
whole
be
different
honest
story.
here. Individuals, we talk about the era when you had the choice of
Scholes,
of
Beckham,
Gerrard, Scholes,
Gerrard,
and Lampard
Lampard,
in
yeah.
midfield, and you didn't know which two to play with each other. Michael Carrick, who would walk into most teams,
Yeah.
was just sitting on the side. He wasn't even thought about. You know, and then you had a lot of, like, you had David Beckham, you had Alan Shearer, you had Wayne Rooney just coming
Coming
up,
in,
and
yeah.
there was Sol Campbell. in
Individual-wise,
defence, and
way
Rio
better.
Ferdinand
Owen
and
Van
Owen and
Boena
whatever.
back then,
But
for
I
sure.
think there's too many individual talents. Yes, they are there, but I think there was something else we discussed as well. The fact that club rivalry played more of a role
Yeah.
back then. I think nowadays they're all friends. They've all grown up in the lower,
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
the
They-
lower camps
like back,
together.
I remember.
I reckon.
Ferdinand-
I don't know. I reckon
Ferdinand
also.
and
came-
they're professional.
I reckon also that it's because of now as well. Don't forget, it's all about. It's a job now. Now it's like a dollar figure. It's a money. Back then
Not
it was.
really, I
No, I
disagree.
think so. I think
I
it is.
disagree with
I think personally for me, I reckon now they join a club. It's about the name on the back and the name on the front. There's not many passionate players for the clubs anymore as there were back then. Back then, it wasn't about the dollar figure.
I
more so about England. It's more so about Liverpool hating United, United hating Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool. Clubs hate each other back then more.
Yeah, look,
Now you watch Everton, Liverpool. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean now what it used to mean 10 years ago to me. To be honest with you, I think things have changed more in regards to rivalry and hating each other.
I mean, you see that with
back
United,
then, you used to
Arsenal.
walk in the camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
back then you walk in the camp and it's like just last week Liverpool's versus United, and players are going studs up and trying to grab each other. Same with Arsenal. But now it's like, oh, okay, cool.
It's
Although
not
we
really
did
because
have
Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I was going to
recently,
say the
yeah,
Raheem
like-
Sterling thing. It was just a couple of weeks ago.
Gomez,
Raheem
him
Sterling
and
had the
Gomez
problem with Joe
as well.
Gomez, and it kind of spilled on. But
But
I
that's
think,
that's one occasion. How many
but
years?
I think they're professional enough now. I think it's more about professionalism, and I think it's
Because it's a business now. It's more of a business.
career.
I
It's a
don't- but I
career.
don't think money. You're saying they're money motivated kind of thing. That it's what's better now. Rio Ferdinand came in and said that rivalry. He goes when he was at dinner in the England camp, looking across the table, looking at Gerrard. He's just looking at him, going, "This guy hates me. Like doesn't like me." You know what I mean?
But
Like,
that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah, it probably doesn't, but that's
Yeah.
the reason why I think that it doesn't exist. Because these players, look at the England squad now. They have a very young squad. All these players played in under 17s England team together.
Yeah.
Under 20, under 23s in the World Cups. Most of them have all been
Yeah.
together, and they're all friends.
Yeah, yeah. And if they're not, my friend who plays for this club, he's friends with that guy anyway. So
Yeah.
like the friend of
It's
my
not.
friend is.
I know it's.
is a
I know
friend.
it's the rivalry. Maybe in the games, they're not as big, but you still see that rivalry. It's not like, and plus the football has maybe changed a little bit. It's more tactical than it is more aggression. I know in some cases.
I think the rules of the game as well don't really allow for a lot of
Yeah.
argy
Like
bargy.
the-
You know
like
what I
the
mean?
tackles
You
like
can't
that.
do it that much.
But
So,
look, with like you were saying, I think the reason why England are doing so well, a lot of the players have been together
Yeah.
as kids,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whether they're at Sunday League to where they are now, you can see how even from Chelsea, the Mason Mount, Abraham are all back into the Prem.
Mm.
Then you got some of the other players as well. Like now you got coming through Greenwood at United. You also got coming through. So even going in the next, not the next Euro, but the Euro after that, when all these players are going to be stepping up. And
What do you
he's the
think,
one
yeah?
from Arsenal. What was his name? Sorry.
Oh, I know you're talking
Martinelli.
about.
Is he English as well?
Not too sure. What do you guys think about? What do you think about Gareth Southgate as a manager as well?
No, he's Brazilian.
He's Brazilian.
What do you think about Gareth Southgate coming in as a manager as well?
Look, I thought when he first came in, I thought it was a bad appointment because you kind of look at his past history. He got thing relegated, Middlesbrough, although Solskjaer got Cardiff kind of relegated too. But I don't think, like when he was appointed, I didn't think it was the right appointment. But
he is the right appointment now.
yes,
Now looking at it, he has been the right
and
appointment.
yeah, looking at it, I think he's got him more as a unit, more of them playing together.
It's not all on him. It's on his other staff that he's got with him that help support him.
And I was telling you guys this off camera, and I mentioned it before. Personally, I don't think it's Gareth Southgate that has made these players better. It's the clubs that these players are at. You got players like Sterling that has been coached by Guardiola. You have
You've got Alexander Arnold and Robertson by Klopp.
coming through.
Robertson Scottish.
Sorry, Robertson, Alexander Arnold.
You have
Henderson, etc.
Pochettino with the Dele Allis, Kane's, all them players. Even with
Well,
Mourinho when he was at United.
If you want to get
Rashford
deeper
and-
to United, even like Nicky Butt in the youth system, like there's even youth coaches that are bringing the players up in the youth team.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
I'm
like
saying
that.
that
Invested in
the
that
main
team.
team, look at
Correct.
the starting team. They've been
But you know
coached
what?
by
But-
possibly the best coaches in Europe at that time.
But touching back, but touching back to what I was saying earlier about the whole. To be honest with you, though, you watch. When was the last time you watched a strong competitive Man United Liverpool match? When was the last time you watched Arsenal Tottenham go all out at each other? When was the last time you saw Liverpool Everton full go at each other like the games used to be? It doesn't exist anymore.
You do see him. You look at the 4-2 win that Arsenal came back last season.
Yeah.
You saw the passion. You saw now this game, the 2-2 draw.
There's more passion
Arsenal had
amongst
to
the
come back.
supporters than there is among
Yeah.
the players. I
I
think
think-
so.
But that's why the
But-
teams do get along as much as they
but
do
you know
I think
still.
we just don't,
When you-
it's not glorified as much as it used to be.
I think, look, United, you look at United's team.
United
all right?
Liverpool, I have not watched a good United Liverpool game in a
but,
while.
But at the end of the day, a lot of those United players, they understand what the Liverpool rivalry means. They've got a quite a British setup there. You know, you look at a lot of the other big clubs. There's not as many clubs, maybe Tottenham, that have a lot of players from the UK. All right, United do. They understand what the thing is a little bit more. The only difference is they don't go out on the pitch and look to fight with each other like they used to before. Like Roy Keane was entering war before he entered that
Vieira,
pitch and could see
yeah.
Vieira on his side.
Yeah.
You know, there's an iconic video of Gary Neville leading the United team out and coming up as captain for Man City is Schmeichel, and Schmeichel goes to shake his hand, and they've been friends for years, and he refuses to shake his hand because that's what this game means. I just want to go back because you mentioned a few young players with England. That's one of the arguments that I have here. That's quite key. I think that when you have really good young players, it's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
You know, you could potentially look and see this person all of a sudden have a summer where they decide to dedicate themselves, take a turn and become one of the top players in the world, which we saw years ago with Cristiano Ronaldo when he was at United. Looked okay, spent a summer where he stayed in, focused on himself, and then became arguably the greatest player in the world for many
As he
years
wears his
after
shirt.
that. Yeah, never
As he
mind
wears his
that.
shirt,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Anyway, all right. I think that Rashford has tried to mimic that as well. Over the break, he's come back stronger. He looks a little bit more lean. He looks like he's got an extra spring in his step. He's got the right attitude now. And all of a sudden, he looks like that guy who could potentially be a game changer. You look at the entire England setup, they've got so many of these Rashfords in there that could take the turn and become
Out of nowhere.
absolute quality. Like
Well, look at Alexander. For me, Alexander Arnold's a massive standout at the moment.
Yeah.
What he's doing at Liverpool is beyond anything at the moment.
Even to
But
me-
I think he's already taken that turn. I think he's one that we can.
But
and
look
we
at
can
him.
say that he's gonna be
I'm not saying he's
brilliant.
going to do that. I'm saying he's already done that.
I think he's already done
And look
that.
what he's doing now in
Yeah,
England.
yeah.
It's
So-
ridiculous.
So all right, I'll throw out a few other names at you, and you say like potentially, what do you think these people could be? You got Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
All right, he's another one who Bayern Munich were after. They wanted
Yeah.
him to go in there. Tammy Abraham seems
Yeah.
to have taken a thing. We already know about the talent of like Raheem Sterling. All right,
Sancho.
Jadon Sancho is another one who knows how good this player can be. You know, he really seems like some talent.
Maddison.
You got James Maddison. All right. You've also got. He's not even on this list as well, but you've also got Grealish as well, who's another one who could do something for them. You've got Declan Rice, who could do something for them as well. At the moment,
Mason Mount.
At the moment, those names are not all world beaters. You know what I mean? But they could potentially. Mason Mount is another one.
You know what? Look. We've sat here spoken about England.
Chilwell.
We've sat here spoken about England. I know that. Look, the squad.
They've got a good team.
The squad's clearly solid.
And before you move on as well, if you look at the odds for the World Cup, for the
Euros.
all right, a popular sporting
Gambling
thingy. I don't endorse any of them. Gambling is bad. Anyway, but they say
sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us, and then gambling's good. It's
Put
all
you on
right.
one of the shirts.
They've got England as favourites. All right, $5 to 1.
Yeah.
England are the favourites, followed by France at $6, and then Belgium $6.50, then the Netherlands and at $7 and $9 Germany. I think that Germany's never one you can rule out when it comes to these
Well, on
things.
that note, though, if I had to pick someone, I'm picking France as the best team in the world for me. Not even Belgium. I know Belgium ranked number 1. Let me see, and I know what you're saying about youth and they're being developed, and they're still who knows what they're gonna have that's gonna click over.
Do France have youth?
No, he's talking about
They have
France do
Mbappe-
too.
They have Mbappe who
But
can
he's-
take a
But
turn.
who else?
But all right, so hold on. He's talking about how England's brilliant because all these players can take over from the youth. But if we looked at French squad, Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Paul Pogba, Giroud, Lloris, Kante, Pavard, Hernandez, Coman, Varane, Dembele. The players go on and on for
Yeah, but
France
you know
as
what?
well.
But
I
he's
think
right.
Dembele
He's
is
right.
there, bro.
He's right with something though.
The
All
youth.
those names you mentioned, a lot of them are at the end of their, at the last
peak.
stage of their career.
Like,
They're not at the end.
France for me peaked the Euros
at the
in
right
France.
time. At the right, and I
when
didn't
they
even
lost
think
the
that.
final.
And I didn't even think they were the best.
No, but I think that you're right. But
Yeah.
still, for me, that Euro they should have won.
Yeah, but their team right now. But you're saying at this present time, their
Yeah,
team,
but I'm
their
just-
team right now, France is definitely better than England. Put a starting 11 from France against starting 11 from
Yeah,
England.
the team in general, but like
You're talking about squad. You're talking about squad and future squads that could come in the next few years.
Hold,
Whole
look,
team
look.
concept.
When you play in the Euros, you don't play with 11 players. All right,
play with the full-
You look at what's on your bench
Correct.
and what can provide me with a different
Yeah.
approach to this game. I think that England have more options to tweak the approach. If England decide to play 2 strikers, they could easily do it. If England, to me, play a similar style to how Klopp plays with Liverpool. All right, he has the midfielders that are just a general calm midfielders. I think he's not a fantastic player to me, but I think having Henderson as the established central midfielder in that team is a massive plus. Because you're not looking for anyone flash. You're looking for someone like him who can do a good job, clean up. Maybe someone like James Maddison when he comes in as well, who can support the attack in the same way Wijnaldum does for Liverpool. You've got a front 3, all right, where you've got wingers who are very, very strong. If you're playing Sterling and Sancho, or you decide to throw in Rashford in either of those positions with Harry Kane, they've got so many options. Hey, you know what? That doesn't work. Let's try and bring on Jamie Vardy and give us just
long
a
ball
guy that
over
can.
the top,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. They've got that option, and I think that's what makes them the better team than France at the moment. France in a one-off game, friendly tomorrow, more than likely they beat England.
So their qualifiers, they haven't really been that great. I think they've lost a few. They should have won to some lower teams, France. But look, I know they got some good players, but to me, like players like Dembele, I think he hasn't really been.
He hasn't lived up to the
He
hype.
hasn't. You
No.
look at his highlights and everything's and like to me, if Dembele is the reason why Barcelona didn't make the Champions League final last season, because at 3-0 at home, he had that chance, an open goal to make it 4-0 at the new camp, and he shanked it. He missed it. Open goal. When you're playing for Barcelona, them kind of chances you need to put away, and that just that one moment. At that time, it was nothing because they were already 3-0 up.
Yeah.
Like, look at it in the long run, that cost them. And you look at a lot of the play that from Barcelona that I've seen. He's not $120 million player to me.
No, not at all.
Can he live up to that expectation, that the price tag, like everyone keeps going back to the price tag for especially these days. Can he live up to that? I don't think he can. Some of these England players, none of them are on big price tags, as in bought in. It's either they came through the ranks. Okay, if Sancho moves on, he'll probably go for 100 plus.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka was a little bit.
Yeah,
a
but
little
I'm
bit
saying,
crusty as well. But he seems quite level-headed
yeah,
anyway.
that's right. It's not like he's.
No, it's
the
not on his
price tag
shoulders.
is
He
on his
moved.
shoulders.
It's like he moved from one club to another, and nothing changed for him.
Yeah.
You know, like he just continued with the way he was. If anything, he's probably stepped his game up a little bit as well.
Yeah, but I don't know about France. I think their kind of campaign sort of thing when it comes to tournaments.
Yeah.
Not could be. I think they definitely will be up there for the Euros.
Mm.
Maybe he get into the final again because the quality is there. But I think another team that I was looking at was Brazil. I think we might be pushing on to that golden generation again with the Brazilian team.
I agree.
I don't know what it is. I think something must have turned when they lost that 7-1 to Germany in the World Cup. They had a bad period. The fans were all on their back. It's like everything Brazil had to do, or needed to do, was win. If they made one mistake, the fans will get on the team's back. They, with the managers they went through, I don't think most of them weren't the right options. With I think Scolari was there when they lost that 7-1. Then they had Dunga. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Dunga.
Was it after Scolari that Dunga came?
I think so. Yeah, they appointed him 8 days later. I think it was a week later.
It
Was
was.
that his second run in the team?
It
Might
was.
have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was
And
in there before too.
The first time was when he had the whole controversy with Ronaldinho being dropped.
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
Ronaldinho put the
that's
ball
right.
over his head when he was
Oh,
16
yeah.
or whatever.
Something like
Yeah.
that. So him coming in, and I think they've slowly got out of that kind of hiccup. And I know with the players they got, look, yes, they won the Copa America. You got.
Copa America's not a hard tournament to win.
Yeah, I know, but they haven't won it in how long?
Yeah, neither is Messi. Anyway.
Yeah. As he was a Ronaldo shit.
You can't see it, but his laptop's locking it.
But you know what I mean? Like they won the Copa America, and without Neymar, they won it without Neymar.
Is Neymar good for the team or bad for the team?
I think he's good.
He's good.
I reckon he's cancer for the
better,
squad.
better for Brazil than he is for his country, than he is for his club. I think he
But see, like
Last World Cup, he lost a lot of respect because of the way he was diving and acting
you
on.
know what?
He lost a
speak
lot
to
of respect. in
Brazilians.
that.
You speak to Brazilians. Like I remember being in Brazil, and I'd throw in the look. It's obvious. Like I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. I absolutely love Messi as a player.
Just
but
not their fans.
I just like Ronaldo more. So I always throw the debate out to people. And when I was in Brazil, I asked most Brazilians that I came in contact with, who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? And they'll all look at you with a straight face and say Neymar is better. Like for them, they feel like Neymar is the greatest player in the world. They
I think
love him.
he's.
They love
I think
him.
he could have. He kind of dropped.
Yeah.
He could be a lot
top
bigger than
that-
he is.
He was the top 3 and pushing to get into that.
Like
that
now,
stage.
Mbappe is definitely
But for
considered
some-
better than him.
For some,
Yeah.
I don't know where it went wrong for him. I don't know when he got sent off in the World Cup or whatever the situation is. Yes, he does get injured a lot the last couple of years. Maybe the whole drama of how he left Barca, then he wanted to go back to Barca. I don't think people are really taking him as serious anymore. The whole diving thing is debatable. But
What did he do with
whatever.
a fan? He slapped a fan in the crowd
Yeah,
in PSG or
after when
something like that.
they lost one of the cups or something.
You know what the issue is? I just think he's.
Yeah, but whatever people's opinion of him is, for me in the Brazilian team, yeah, him as an addition, it
Of
has to be
course.
good.
Oh yeah.
Plus, when they got Jesus there, look at their goalkeepers.
Okay,
They got-
is Jesus good enough?
Yeah.
Is he good enough? to be able
Rotational, off the bench.
Okay, but who's your other Brazilian striker? You got Firmino. as
Firmino,
well.
bro,
Firmino.
come on,
But he's
man.
not really a striker.
Doesn't matter. He's not really a
Look,
striker for Liverpool, but look what they're doing.
Yeah, I know that. But Liverpool's team is built
Around the
to
competition.
suit
Yeah, I know, I get
that
it.
player.
Mane and Salah out wide, and
the
they go
minute you
forward
put-
or
The
whatever.
minute
I
you
think
put
it
Firmino,
works.
you put Firmino here, but you put Jesus, and you have to put him up here where the wingers are. Firmino sits as a false 9.
Yes, it's
Right.
Firmino
Yeah, I know, but
and,
for
and, and,
Brazil,
and play
I
the
think
likes
it
of like
works.
Willian and Neymar.
Vinicius Junior.
Vinicius
Has
Junior.
has he had a cap yet for Brazil?
I don't know if he.
I don't know, actually.
But see, like you got players like him.
Okay,
if
what
he
about
does come in,
and the other young players you look in the team are people like Richarlison. Is Richarlison good enough?
but like you said, within the England squad, are they good enough as a team? Yes, they gel.
Yeah, but they have enough players in order to cover
I think
each
they
other.
do. I think that Everton guy that was in the last couple of tournaments, I think he did well. But not this player at
For who?
Santos for Brazil. His name's Everton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like
right.
he's
Everton
been,
Suarez.
Yeah, so he's come on, he's done well. I think they got, if you look at overall, they got the 2 best keepers going at the moment.
Yeah. But you can only play one keeper
Yeah,
at a time.
yeah, I know,
anyway,
but
so.
I know, but like you said, rotation, they can mix it
Yeah.
up. They can put him
And
up front.
Fabinho-
they can
Fabinho's
put him
not
up
bad.
front.
The likes like Fabinho at the moment as
They-
well.
I don't know,
Fernandinho.
I think Coutinho's hit
Fernandinho.
form.
Coutinho's
And
hitting form
Alexandro.
again.
The form that Coutinho is hit at the moment, I think.
But But I think we're having a dig for these. I think we're really having.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
dig
But
for
that's what I'm
this.
thinking. Not. Okay, I think I understand your question. Maybe not right now. But
What about
I'm saying,
Argentina?
I don't know. I don't know with Argentina because when it comes to international tournaments, where are
Yeah.
they?
Defensively, they never well.
What
never
about
good.
Belgium? We haven't spoken about Belgium.
We kind of spoke.
Belgium
a little
hit
bit
their peak already. I know we were saying that
we
off
spoke about this
camera.
off camera a little bit. Belgium had a golden generation coming up, and I think if they were going to win something, they would have won it already. I don't think that the people they have now, especially having lost Vincent Kompany, all right, who was massive for that team, and then you think about the fact that people like Nainggolan have gone past their prime.
No, that's he's not.
Fellaini.
Yeah, well, yeah, the great Fellaini.
But then
Fellaini
you have the
really
likes of
into it.
Hazard and De Bruyne are the
Yeah, I know
talking
you- I know
points.
you have
Is Hazard as good now as he
No,
was a few seasons
no,
ago?
he's not as good as he was last
No,
year.
he wasn't as
he's
good as he
not.
was. He's gotten worse as
alright,
he's
and
progressed.
Lukaku needs.
With Lukaku's better for his country than he is for.
But then you have
Always,
Mertens. But then you have
always.
Mertens. You've got Witsel.
Yeah, but how with age, how they're getting on. The football has changed now, where it's the pace of the game is picked up, and this
Yeah.
is why it suits England,
Yeah.
because
See-
the English players, the pace that the Premier
Tillemans.
League,
You know what I mean? They've
the
got.
pace-
Tillemans is good.
the pace that the
Tillemans is
Premier
good.
League is
Thorgan
played at,
Hazard,
and I know half of the Belgium team does play in England, which is why they've been doing so well. I think the
Yeah.
pace of the game
Yeah.
has picked up in the last few years, and that's why the countries like Italy and Holland, the last few tournaments have been left back, because they haven't been.
The style of
The
football's
the
changed.
style of football has kind of changed, and the like you said with the players coming through, does Holland have them players like they used to, or do they get rid of them early?
I think
or they,
Holland. You remember this. I think Holland 10 years from now will be the strongest team in Europe.
You know
and you're
what?
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Do you know
there,
my
because-
wild card pick for Euros is Holland?
Yeah, but the only thing is, I think Holland are missing certain players. Like they have the best defense, best centre backs, as a partnership
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
All right, best partnership in the world for centre backs. You can't dispute that. They're very strong, and they have is it De Jong in midfield, who's brilliant, had a fantastic season. And I think
Wijnaldum's in form now for
they
Liverpool.
need a few more players to start springing up in certain positions. And I think that after the disappointment of what happened with previous, they didn't qualify for a few tournaments
Yeah.
and do so well. I think they realised they did the same thing Germany did. Germany got knocked out in the group stages of the World Cup years ago and decided we're going to go from the ground and build a team from nothing. Yeah. And they did, and that's when the likes of Ozil started coming through and Kroos and whatever. So they had that. Netherlands are doing that now. Netherlands are still away, but as a unit, as a team, they have the spirit. They could potentially do it. They could become.
What other international countries are there out there that you think could? Okay, so we spoke about the likes of Belgium. Obviously, I'm talking in comparison to your England pick. We spoke about Belgium, France, England. Obviously, is the one that we're comparing to. Who else is there though? We talk about Brazil. Is Portugal anything to look at? No. I think the likes of Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo's hitting his point now where he's going to retire eventually.
You know what? Ronaldo has an effect on that team, whether or not he's playing in that team or not.
Well, they won.
I
They
feel like he
yeah.
has an effect on that team. I think he knows how to motivate the team and bring them up. And the Portuguese, they look at him as something amazing. So he could give them a bit of support. I mean, they do have Bernardo Silva. They've got a couple of decent players here and there. Portugal has never been a complete team, yet they somehow won the Euros.
Yeah. But then they don't really you don't really see of any young Portuguese players coming up through the ranks anywhere. It's like
What about that Atletico Madrid?
Felix.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's
He's
one.
a very good one,
But
actually.
That's one out of.
I know.
You look at the
I know.
England squad. There's a lot. I don't
There's
know.
a lot-
Maybe because
there's a lot
there's
more.
Maybe because
attention
we
on them.
watch the Premier League more. We're always going to be more educated in the Premier League than any other league. Let's be honest.
Correct.
But look,
That's
to
why
be
when it
honest,
came to Belgium, we can speak about Belgium too.
To be honest, I think we kind of hit the nail on the head with some of these teams. I don't really see, maybe Germany, but in any tournament, Germany somehow.
Spain had their golden era. They dropped off recently as well.
Yeah, and I don't.
The Xavi, Iniestas, they all retired and they all dropped off from the game.
Look, I think
PK
they're
and
through a
PK
rebuilding kind of
Pirlo.
period too, yeah.
I think the bottom line is me stating that England are probably the best team in the world right now an outrageous suggestion? Is it that far away from what you feel is the truth?
Some people might say yes, because it's England. Just the fact
Standards.
because it's
Yeah,
England.
Just because it's England.
Yeah.
And no one wants to see England do well.
Surprisingly
No one
though,
wants to see football come home.
surprising
Yeah.
our dad cannot stand England. But when you brought up to Dad, Dad's like, you know what? I think you're right. So that for me, when you asked him, that was a shocker. But like we saw last World Cup, they looked pretty decent. And like you're saying, football's coming home.
But then
We had some
like,
videos.
People might say, "Oh, the run they had was a bit how you going," but
I thought so too, to be honest. I think the run made it look like England could potentially win the World Cup more than they really could have.
yeah, but
I
Yeah, I
think
get
they're
what you
better
mean.
now. I
What
think they're
about?
better
There's
now.
another one for you guys. What about Croatia?
nah, Croatia, that was their chance. If Croatia were going to do anything, that was their chance. They really struggled in the qualifiers, even in the Croatia. To me, were the best team in the group stages of the World Cup. That's all.
Performance-wise and everything.
Oh, yeah, when they beat
Everything,
Argentina.
completely
That was a good
everything.
game.
They were the best team in the World Cup
Yeah.
during the group stages. Into the knockout stages, around the 16 quarters,
Yeah.
they won on pens.
Yeah.
England in the extra time, England could if Kane squared that ball up to Raheem Sterling, would have been 2-0. The game could have changed completely then. But look, I think that was their Croatia's chance to, if they were going to win it, but they came up against a French side that was just way too good on the day. But look, I don't know. Maybe we'll see how this England team goes, and we'll see how some of these other teams go.
I'm still sticking personally with France. France.
It's safer to not bet with England. It's safer.
I
not
still
to
think
bet
any
with
day of
England,
the
'cause
week,
it's
if
never happened in our
any day of the
lifetime.
week now you put them against
But you
England,
bet on them,
I
you
pick
can
9
make some
times out of
point.
10 France is going to beat
I
England.
know
That's
that,
me.
but what about if it's in the semi-final of a tournament?
I still think France will beat them.
All right, this is the only thing. That's the only thing I'm saying is if it's in the semi-final of a tournament, it's a bit different than if they say, "Hey, let's play next week."
That's me. As per usual, another discussion. Any topics you want us to drop or you want us to talk about, please let us know. The road to 5,000 is continuing. The watch hours are rising. It's all happening. So guys, share the video, like, subscribe, and tell us who you think your best international team in the world right now is, and if you think he's going crazy or if you think he's speaking valid truth. But thanks for jumping on again. Appreciate it.
No
Watch it.
worries.
As usual, always a pleasure. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
See you later.